said my drawers.
All right, welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to the January 28th Board of Selectmen's meeting. This is a deferred meeting from last Monday due to the snowstorm. Hope everybody made it out okay. We'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The board is just coming out of what was a brief non-public and paperwork session. Let's do review and approval of consent items. AP manifest for January 20th, 2026, $240,910.28. January 27th, 26, $245,775.10. We have payroll manifest for January 22nd.
I have 240,000 on the AP manifest.
The first one's 240,910.28.
Yeah, you said 245.
We just said 245
Second one
on
is
the agenda.
245,710.
I have 240.
I'm looking at the agenda, so,
So am I.
which one is it? I have, for 120, for January 20th, it's 240,910.28.
What's that paper say?
20 cents, yep,
910, 28,
240,000.
yep.
240, yep,
And then January 27th is 245,775.10.
I don't have that number.
It's on the
Mine's blank.
agenda.
You might need to log in.
We have to
Oh, you
refresh it,
might
maybe?
not have refreshed.
Yeah, you're,
Yeah, I pulled it off the portal, so it was refreshed when I looked at it.
Yeah, it's refresh, it is,
Okay.
it's there now.
All right.
Yeah,
Payroll manifest for 122, for January 22nd is 66,574.48. For January 29th is $66,293.91. We have a December 2025 town clerk reconciliation. We have a corrected amended November 2025 treasurer's reconciliation. We have the December 2025 tax collector reconciliation, December 2025 treasurer's reconciliation. We have 26 veteran credit recertifications. We have one new all-veteran credit application and two new totally and permanently veteran application.
Disabled veteran.
Yeah, it's
Supposed to be
yeah.
disabled.
Yeah,
Yeah,
permanently
totally.
disabled veterans
Yes.
application. Somebody's put the word there.
Hold on.
Kim's doing it right now.
Magically appear.
Yeah.
there you go.
So I have a motion to accept the consent items or anything to get pulled out?
So moved.
I have a motion to accept, a second?
second.
Seconded by Ms. Plansky. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carries 500. Due to the nature of the meeting, we do have some larger topics with obviously audience here for it. As I mentioned earlier, we're gonna change the agenda a little bit. It's gonna skip the minutes and we're gonna move right to the abatements once we get through a couple of things. Anything else that needs to be added to the agenda or any other topics we need to add?
Go ahead,
Nothing?
Steph.
No.
First public input will probably happen around 7:30 at this point. But we'll take it as soon as we get through the abatements. All right, so Lauren, if you're okay, we're ready to start the abatement conversation.
Okay.
Kim, do you want to lead us through what we got, or do you want to do it?
So I think, hopefully Lauren will take these in order of when they came in. The first one that we have on the agenda is map 7, lot 29.
Okay.
So this is,
Handle this. Do you have specific questions, or how did you want to address this? I've never done this with the board before.
so I guess the first question would be, is the homeowner, present?
That would be 57 Talent Road, right?
Correct.
57 Talent Road.
So
Yeah.
the recommendation here is for denial, and does the board have any questions on the recommendation?
On this one, no.
It was very slow. Here we go.
Why is there a difference of $75,000? Is there
Yeah.
a reason?
See the letter attached.
Two opinions, everything, 10%. Oh, okay.
So the question, Kim, was.
Well,
why
it
is
looked like it was appraised in June of 2025 for $810,000. And then the appraisal came in at 885 or 886, if you round up.
So the question,
So-
Lauren, is why we're not, taking the appraisal.
Well, it was a finance, again, I'm just kind of going through what I've got here so that I can keep up with you, but, it was a finance appraisal done in June 26th of 25, so the assessment date is as of April 1st, based on all the sales we had available at that time. And while that seems like a tremendous amount of money, it's still within 10% of each other. Typically, a finance appraisal is, they're hired to protect the bank's interest, so it's not necessarily the market value of the property, but you can send 10 appraisers to a property, you're gonna get 10 opinions of value. Like I said, the big thing was just the 3 months difference in time, and that it was for financing and not for assessing purposes, so that was why I recommended denial of it.
Okay.
And they're not here.
They're not here. I think the resident, doesn't live in the state, so.
Okay. All right, so that one's, move on to the next one then?
Well,
You'll need a
That's
motion.
easy.
we need a motion to
Approve or
approve
deny?
it, yeah, to approve the denial or make a difference.
And that's correct, this is the resident that is out of town.
Yeah,
I make a motion that we accept it,
as a denial.
as a denial, yep.
Deny the abatement.
Mhm.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Ms. Queenan. Any other discussion?
I just have a question.
Don't
The bank is
vote?
happy that it's worth $75,000 more than they owe on it, right?
Well, I don't think the bank,
The bank doesn't care, as long as it's higher than the value, right? So, but don't assessors have to be certified? Don't they have to go through a process? Or anybody can call themselves an appraiser? I'm assuming you have an education,
We all have to be certified in the
Okay.
state. It's required.
because they
Yes.
just seem to be all over the place, right?
I think our question was,
Appraisers are
what's the
different
difference between an assessor and
assessors, yeah.
appraiser, and
Yeah.
that's a good question.
All right.
Well, I mean, when as assessors, we're valuing using a mass appraisal model. So we're using all of the sales in town to develop base land and building values. When an appraiser is going to be coming up with a value opinion for a property based on a couple of sales. And we're all doing the same job. The big difference is gonna be the time period. The assessment date is April 1st, and an appraisal can take place at any time, and depending on the circumstance of what they're valuing the property for. For what purpose, if it's for the bank, if it's for a divorce, or, whatever circumstances sometimes, has an impact on the resulting value. It shouldn't, we're all supposed to be unbiased, but that does happen.
okay,
Great question.
But we're all certified, whether it's assessors or real estate, fee simple appraisers, we're all certified. We're all governed by USPAP, Uniform Standards of Professional Appraisal Practice,
And you're basing it off actual sales, which is hard
in
data.
the town of Litchfield only, yep.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
any other discussion? Okay, then, all in favor of the motion as seconded? All in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 500. All right, next one is going to be map 20 lot 54, right?
Yes. So,
Okay, right there.
everyone might not know what that's 3 Mike Lane.
Yep, 3 Mike Lane, denial, 6 properties listed based on for comparison.
Is that 2025.05?
Yeah, the names aren't on the
Yeah,
paper.
2025, 05, yes.
05, okay.
Yep,
Some art at the top
Yep.
there?
Top right, okay.
Here we go.
So this one is assessed at 580, 800. They offered a value opinion of 500,000. they stated, you know, one bathroom, no fireplace, no new construction, which all of that was accurately listed in the record. And then they provided 6 properties that they felt supported their value opinion. So I went through all of the 6 that they illustrated in their abatement, and I highlighted why there were value differences between those properties and the subject property.
Square footage.
All of these homes were smaller, and had less features, just, you know, I mean, it's all in there specifically, but that was the big crux of it. If you're gonna compare your, you know, 1,697 square feet home, you wanna find homes as close in size as you can to that. But that's why those were all smaller. So they're all assessed for less, but that's because they're smaller and they have far less features. So I went through the sales and listed all of those sales there. And when you adjust for the differences between the properties, all of those sales support the assessment as established. So that was why I recommended that one be denied.
Is there a resident from 3 Mike? Can you come forward, sir?
Georgie Samard, 3 Mike Lane. Again, we talked about, you know, the first 5 that we found in the area, you know, compared to what we have, you know, moving forward. And then again, they came back with the ones that were sold in 2025. And, you know, we decided that we'd be closer to 500 instead of 580. But again, that's where I stand with that. There was no construction, no new construction. You know, moving forward, it was the same. And again, we're going from 350,000 to 580,000 with no new constructions. Moving forward with that, that's, you know, that's my findings. And I mean, we're comparing to where these houses were, you know, sold in 2025. You know, again, you know, that's me. You're the experts. I feel that it's not, you know, comparable from going from 350 to 580. You know, moving forward with that. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
So what's the board's pleasure here?
So all these other properties that are listed, are they in the same area of
Well, the
square
one-
footage
the
as this one? The one, Whittemore, Hildreth, Acadia? Because we have a whole list of other,
Well, the ones on the top, that's the ones that,
Yeah, that's
I
the-
reviewed,
yeah.
you know, moving forward, you know, that I submitted, to Kimberly, you know, moving forward, and then we,
So-
you know, we reviewed, you know, the
These
findings,
are
and we felt that closer to 500,000 instead of 580,000.
Yeah.
So that's what we, you know, that's what I was asking
Yeah.
moving
Well,
forward.
Runisa is very close to yours.
Right.
That's only
I mean,
less than 100.
the ones that we looked at the bottom were on the, you know, farther side, you know, north.
Yeah.
And I didn't even go towards the south because, you know, towards the school, you know, I felt that was too far away moving forward. I kept around our area. You know, Arcadian Lanes is a little farther north. But my findings were just the ones around our, you know, Lance Ave, you know, Robin, Renissa,
Yeah.
you know, moving forward with that.
Your house is
I
next to
think,
where the
and I
Fontaine's
think
house
it's
is.
realistic to look at those sales, but without making adjustments for the differences in size is gonna lead you to a value opinion that's below market for the subject.
So Lauren, all the properties, from 7 Whitmore to 145 Hillcrest at the bottom are of similar
Yep.
size.
I'm pulling them all up right now so I can answer that for you. You know, there's never one perfect comp.
Right.
So when we try to find sales to,
Blue Jay, similar to that area.
Well, lost her.
Have a little more land.
adjustments, there's less importance on that amount of the adjustment that's applied. So, I had to move screens so I could look it up here. So for example, 7 Whittemore Drive has got 1,576 square feet of gross living area, where the subject has 1,697.
And the ages of the home are about the same?
I try to stick to as close to possible to the age as well to minimize that, because obviously a 1970s home, you don't want to be comparing it to a, 2024 home. The subject, let me see. Let me go back here. So the subject is 1,697 square feet, built in 1976. So 7 Whitmore was built, just had that in now. 1 second, 7 Whitmore was 1978 with 1,576 square feet. 8 Hildreth. And these are sales that I'm looking at, not assessments. The properties that the taxpayer provided were assessments.
So the one that you would say was your low was 15 Winter Circle at 5? 5 was the
Yep.
lowest?
Let me see, Winter. So 5 Winter is 1,860 square feet, unfinished basement, and built in 1975.
And that one assessed, or
Is your
sold
basement finished?
500?
It is finished?
Half, not the whole thing.
Yeah, okay, yep.
So that's
Oh,
the
sorry.
lowest
I'm on
one,
the wrong
and
property,
then,
I'm on 5 Winter, not 15, sorry. 15 Winter is 1971 and 1,296 square feet. So that also would require an adjustment for size, it's smaller than the subject.
smaller, okay.
Yeah, like I said, no perfect comp, tried to stick to similar building style, age, and square footage, and then you have to adjust for the differences, whether it's flooring type or overall condition, finished basement, things of that nature. But these were the best weighted comps when I compared them to the subject.
I gotta say, it looks close to what she's got, everything that she has, you can see why.
And I understand that, looking at, and just the percent change, I get it. It was a ridiculous market going from, crazy COVID to 2025. There's some serious changes in the real estate market. So you don't have to do anything to your property. It's just what's happening in the real estate market is what's affecting the change in value.
Okay. What's the board's?
This one isn't as easy.
No, it's not.
Well, I mean, I know this property because I was very good friends with the people who live next door to him, so I do know the property. I mean, I have a hard time with that assessment. I mean, I would never pay that much for the house. No offense.
No, I
But I
wouldn't
mean,
either, because
yeah.
it's not, I respect what she's saying, but, it's just, it's not, like, 12 Mike Lane, 590, they paid for it. In 2025, and it's only a split. That's just, doesn't make any sense moving forward, but like she said, the market is there, and, they're gonna pay, upfront for, for that property. But, I just feel that,
The jump.
going from 350 to, 580 for, no new construction, it just doesn't make sense. In my mind anyway, moving forward. I mean, I know I'm gonna pay, but not 580. It just doesn't make any sense in my mind, moving forward. But, it's your decision. I'm gonna have to live with it moving forward.
So my biggest hangup is the comparisons that you provided. It's really just the square footage and the size of the garage that you have attached. So it's hard to compare those to your home. It's tough for us because we all live here. We all felt the same, impact with this. I never thought I'd be living in a $500,000 home or more, you know, overnight.
Sorry.
You should be.
I know. Well, and the thing is, I get blamed for it. I didn't buy these homes.
I know,
I just analyze the sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard, you know, if we're gonna make this adjustment, we'd have to make it across the board, right?
Across the board, consistent.
And I do see it supported.
It is supported, yeah. So what do you wanna do?
I
Any
did the
motion to
last one.
accept, or a motion to change it, a motion to whatever?
I make a motion to accept the denial.
Do I have a second?
Unfortunately, it's a second. I hate it, I'm in the same boat.
Motion made by Mr. Gannon to accept the denial, seconded by Ms. Queenan. Further discussion?
Can we change our name tags around? Feel like we're creating a lot of enemies tonight.
Be my name tag alone, woman.
No
I
in
did
this
the
house,
other
I'll be on Facebook in 20
I
minutes.
don't know if you remember when I came in during, you know, while we were going through the startup of this and some of that conversation, you know, because this change in the real estate market really did affect the more affordable housing options more so than the high-end properties. And so that's, I think, what, and it's being, you know, felt across the state. Yeah, I'm sure you've read in the paper about Hampton and some of those cases over there, because it's those more affordable housing options, whether it's your starter homes, whether it's your manufactured housing, that are hit the hardest. So that's why it's, I think, a tougher pill to swallow than when it's the higher end going up. But it's what's happening in the market. It's not anything where, it's nothing new to Litchfield. It's happening across the state.
So what's the verdict? Stay the same?
We haven't decided yet.
But we're still,
Well,
My
we have,
anxiety is high, so you have to.
so we have a motion to accept the denial. Any further discussion?
I don't like this assessment.
Do you have a thought on adjusting the
I think
assessment?
closer to 500,000 is probably more appropriate.
Would
Still a
you,
big increase.
would you accept 550?
are we bargaining and bargaining?
No, I get what Bob's saying, I mean, I understand what Bob's
It
saying.
hurts.
But it's gonna start a trend that we're
Right,
gonna have to do something across the board.
right.
And
That's my fear.
And that changes everything else if we remember,
The big reason
I
I'm
mean, if
speaking
there
is
was
because I
something-
actually know this property.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's,
But if there was something in the house that that had been assessed that wasn't there, this would be an easier topic. Like if they gave you a shed that you don't have, or, if there was a finished basement, but your basement isn't really finished, then this would be a much easier conversation. I would be like, oh no, that's wrong, we need to change that. But what are we gonna do with the other people who aren't here?
it's a case by case. We have to look at them all.
Do we?
yeah, we should be looking at it all.
Oh, all these abatements,
All
yes.
these abatements, yeah.
Oh yeah, we're gonna look at them all, but
Yeah, you know what?
I'm talking
It's one of the
about
bennies of the
all.
job.
Brian,
No, I can't. Okay.
I
Only-
appreciate it though, but
No, I had some 2 cents that might be helpful, but.
Only abatements,
Oh, sorry.
only properties that have filed for abatement.
I know.
all right, so there is a motion, it's been seconded. No adjustments, no amendments?
I will make a motion to amend it to 500,000.
Okay, do I have a second on the amendment? No second? Amendment fails due to lack of second. All right, all in favor of the denial, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained, motion carries 410. Sorry, sir.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Oh,
Apologies,
everybody.
not happy at my house either.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
sorry.
Sir.
All right, next one will be map 2, lot 88, sub 7. Is that Horizon? Yeah, so 5 Horizon. It's the one that's marked 202506.
Correct.
How you doing, sir?
Good evening. My name's John Morrison. I'm a new resident of Litchfield. We happened to buy at the wrong time apparently because a reevaluation was done 5 years ago, but we're happy with the house. Have an appraisal done for financial purposes. It came in at 918. I was told to prepare, that it would be less and have to come up with more cash, because I offered more to get the house. That's what happens in real estate today. It's a nice house, don't have any qualms with that. I just think that the valuation is too high. I went through all my neighbors, their assessments, and I didn't think I'd say this, but I'm happy to pay $500 every half year more, not $754. I get an average here of everybody's tax assessment in my neighborhood versus Weatherstone versus Horizon. That comes out to about 918. The appraisal came out to 918. I looked at Realtor, Zillow, and Redfin, which are common real estate. The current value, the average of that is 915. I just think it's too high relative to my appraisal, and overall, if you look at it, I was kind of surprised at the differences in the neighborhood. I can give you the sheet if you want. I went through this, but the average is about $500 more per year. I'm fine paying more. I didn't think I'd say that tonight, but I'd rather pay $1,000 more per year than $1,400. That's where I'm coming at tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Be happy to share the sheet with you.
It might be, we have a whole
So,
bunch on
I
that
didn't
portal.
supply it with my application. I did this on my own.
yeah, so the comps weren't submitted with your abatement
I
application.
didn't know this until after the fact. I mean, I just moved in recently, so I didn't have this information. I had my appraisal, which I gave as part of the abatement process. I did not have this worksheet done, which I have done since then.
Okay.
Hope that's acceptable to the board.
My only
have
concern
copies of
would be
that?
that the assessor has not seen
Seen it.
any comps provided.
Know it well. I've done a lot of work
So
there.
Thank you.
that's,
Thank
Well,
you.
what I, maybe, so if it would be helpful, we could defer this one, give this information to Lauren so she can review it. It's, I mean, the data looks,
Lauren, how would you like to handle this? I mean, in the past,
Thank you so much, Bud.
generally comps are provided with the abatement application. In this case, you have not seen these comps. They were not.
If you wanna send those over and have me take another look, and I can
defer
update
this.
this.
Honestly, there hasn't been a whole lot
Yeah.
of sales activity in this
Make a
community.
motion that we
None.
defer this
What-
until
Very
it's.
little.
Could you table the abatement?
yeah,
Make a
Yeah.
motion
Yeah,
to
we'll just
table the
table it.
abatement
Yep,
and we'll
table.
submit it all to.
so.
Give us a chance to look
Who
at
made,
it. All right.
so we're gonna make I'll make the motion so we're clarified. So we're gonna I'm making a motion to table this abatement, which is 2025-6, for further review.
Second.
Fine with me.
Motion made myself, seconded by Mr. Leary. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 500. So we'll table this one until, our assessor has an opportunity to look at your
Okay,
details,
thank you.
so no action required.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming
I'll
in.
send it tonight.
Appreciate it.
All right, the next one is, map 17, lot 42, which is 10 Heron Drive. That's. How you doing, Brian?
Good, how's it going?
Good.
So
Just name and address if you don't
Okay.
mind. We got your address, but your name anyway.
Yeah, Brian Dodge, 10 Heron Drive. I grew up in Litchfield, moved back here with my family to raise them here. Been here for 12 years over on Heron. I did submit my application with two concerns, and I'd like to elaborate a little bit on it because I did get the response from Avatar on January 7th response. Before I talk about the response, I wanted just to say about Heron itself, it's a 11 home subdivision. The first 7 were built by a different builder than R4. R4 at the very end was built by a builder named White Birch Builders. And all 4 homes are very, very similar. They're similar in footprint, foundation, offerings, floor plan, same subs, same subcontractors, same vendors, same cabinet guy, same flooring guy. The only small differences are flipping the baster on the top, slight design changes. So they're nearly identical, which is really relevant because all 4 of us have been average plus 20 for quality rating. for the last 12 years, or some of them a little bit newer, like 10 years. So we've all been average 20. During the preliminary assessment period, I had an appeal for a garage issue, which we've resolved. And it's when Avatar assumed my garage was finished living space and had a bathroom because of a vent pipe sticking out the back. Well, that vent pipe was a radon system. They came out, they confirmed it. It's always been a garage. I have about 8 permits on file. If I was gonna convert it, especially with the ADUs being legal, I would have gotten a permit. So it was a garage, either way, moot point. That reduced our assessed value $80,000. Pretty big assumption, if you ask me. But when they did that, they changed the quality rating. Changed from average 20 to average 30, which is not appropriate. It's nothing has changed with my house in 12 and a half years. I'm the same as my neighbors, and I'm the same of a couple dozen homes within the area of colonials, around 2,300 square feet. This house is nice, it's a great house, but it's just like any other colonial. It has hardwood, it has granite, but beyond that, it's a builder basic house. I got fiberglass shower unit, walk-in tub, not walk-in tubs, fiberglass units for tubs, It's not a walk-in tub. I don't have, not walk-in tub. It's not a, whirlpool tub. It's not a walk-in shower. I don't have fancy arches. I don't have columns. I don't have a dedicated mudroom. I don't have a dedicated anything. It's a basic house. I got textured ceilings. I got hollow core doors. I got cheap vinyl double hung windows. It's just 2,300 square feet. Great. And it's nice. It's in a nice subdivision. Average 20 is appropriate. So the change to average 30 would have never happened if it wasn't for this garage assumption. And what that results in is when you recalculate the building rate, it changes it $41,000. So the difference between average 20 and average 30 for my home is $41,000. Well, that's what, $680 per year, I think it is? $580. So $41,580 a year, just because they decided to change the quality rating, which is completely frustrating because of the 3 other sales that are nearly identical, and then the dozens of other sales that didn't change. So going back to Avatar's response, which I got January 7th, they said that the computer modeling can adjust for quality changes, and that makes sense, based on the sales data that went into it. Well, that's great. And that similar homes would now suggest an A3, which is average plus 30 rating. That's great. That logic made sense if it actually was done soundly. I looked at all 60 sales within the report that's uploaded to the website. Mm-hmm. One sale is average plus 30. Of that sale, 1997 Colonial with an ADU in 2020. That's not a similar home. It's not a similar home for design, appeal, legal use even now. It's not a benchmark to change my quality rating. 1 out of 60 sales was changed, it was average 30. So beyond that, I looked at all these other similar homes, including my neighbors. Homes that were average 20 before the reval are still average 20 after reval. So if that logic of I'm going to change my quality rating because similar homes now model that way, well then why didn't those other homes change? If that model holds true, then all those homes would have been updated. So there's a flaw in the logic, and it's going to cost me an extra $600 a year.
This one makes sense to me, that it maybe shouldn't go up. Can you give me a reason why his quality rating would have changed?
I do have a little bit more to add, not to be rude or anything.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I did calculate the building rate using Avatar's calculations. I dug deep into the report. I am an appraiser for 25 years. I'm not using my appraisal hat today, as they say. I'm not offering an opinion tonight. I'm basing it just simply on inconsistencies and principle. I think it speaks for itself. We have 3 identical neighbors built by the same builder, literally the same houses except for design features. They didn't change. And then I have dozens of other houses that didn't change, both on Heron, Tanger Way, Fallon, all these similar type neighborhoods. They're all similar. They didn't change. So nothing has changed with my house. And if you recalculate it using the building rate properly, which it was, so I'm not asking for any changes. I'm asking just to go back to what it was, average 20. I'm also asking for you guys to accept a correction to the fixture count, because when they did the garage error, counting my garage as a bathroom in there, they changed the bathroom from 8 to 11. So I need to change it back to 8, which they agreed upon in their response letter. That results in another $5,100 reduction. although the math on that might be 5,600 because of the prior assessed value. So either way, we're talking $46,000 should be coming off of this because of the fixture count, well, the 41,000 fixture count and the quality rating. And all it does is restore me back to where I was. I was average 20 before the reval. Nothing's changed in my house. My neighbors were average 20. And then I also was 8 bathroom fixtures before the reval. I'm still 8 bathroom fixtures. That's indicative of a 2.5 bathroom house. And the only other thing that did change, which wasn't in my application, was they changed the exterior siding description. They changed it from vinyl siding to vinyl siding / above average. For 12 years, I was just vinyl siding. Well, it seems minor, but that one change, when you throw it in the building rate calculator, is 1 point, because you gotta average out vinyl shakes, which I have a little bit of vinyl shakes on the tips of my dormers. And I calculated it. It's actually 3.6% of my house, of my siding, 3.6% is vinyl shakes. Just that little peak on the top, 125 square feet. And that's gonna cost me an extra $5,100 when you calculate the building rate.
That explains my assessment.
Yeah, and your whole front is done, right?
Yeah,
Nick
I
Mullen,
just
do you
had
mind?
all my vinyl siding replaced too.
So either way, again, after 12 years, that was always vinyl siding. And yes, technically it has vinyl shakes now, but it's 125 square feet of vinyl shakes that we put in 12 years ago for $800. I found the upcharge for the builder, and they're actually quite faded now. They look pretty faded, and they're vinyl at the end of the day. It's not stone. It's not anything custom. It's at the end of the day a little detail on the top, and that now it has to be forced into the building rate. That then adds a point, which is $5,100 based on the building rate. So again, in the prior application, I recalculated, I calculated the building rate based on the prior information, the average plus 20, the 8 fixtures, and at the time, vinyl siding, because I didn't know the vinyl shakes were added. And that results in a value of $852,100. $852,100 is a reasonable number, and it's supported by looking at the sales next to me. This house is a little bit bigger, so we bring it down. This house has a better pool, we bring that down. My house has a pool, we bring that one up. So 852 is a reasonable number. I went one step further. I also looked at the old to new assessed value ratio. That the website has the spreadsheet, and it's for 3,434 properties. So I took that spreadsheet and I put it in Excel, and I found the average and median for the old to new assessed value. And it revealed average ratio is 1.5973. Median is 1.590. Well, if you take that and you times it by my original value of 530,600, it results in 843 to 847. Extremely close to the 852. So that's a great cross-check when nothing has been changed in the house. So house was assessed at 530, before. Now it's assessed at, what should be 840 to 850-ish. It supports the building calculation rate, and it also is based on something. It's based on the town-wide data. And if you look at the neighboring sales, or not sales, or homes, if you look at my neighbors, which is not in the spreadsheet that I provided originally, but I have it here, one neighbor is 1.57 ratio. One is 1.69, but he has a brand-new pool. One is 1.61, right aligned with what we just calculated. The other one's 1.599, 1.567, 1.603, 1.603, 1.64. So 1.606 would be indicative of 852. So 852,000 results in a ratio of 1.606, right in line with the average and median ratio, and supportive of the building rate calculation. So I know I'm all over the place, and I apologize, but it's all because the quality rating changed from average plus 20 to average plus 30. Meanwhile, my neighbors are the same. And then they also changed the siding description from vinyl siding to vinyl siding / above average. Those two things right there result in $41,000 for the condition, $5,100 for the siding change. So it's $46,000 entirely.
There's a reason that we asked her to be here for these abatements, because a lot of what you said, we wouldn't have been able to answer or make a good judgment on when it came to us. So we do appreciate that you're here, and we do appreciate that you're here. But can you explain that 20% to 30% value change, or
Or the above average.
above average rating? Yeah, could you explain that?
Yes, I mean, it was made to be consistent with all the other similar homes in town like that. Just on Heron Drive alone, number 2, number 6, number 7, and 8 are all similar styled homes. They are all average plus 30.
Different builders, but then the other ones, what about the other ones? They don't offset. So we have several on that Heron. We have 11 houses. So what happened to the other houses? Those are all average
The
plus
other
20.
houses are a different model.
There's one that's a different model, the others aren't. I live on the street, I've been in most of those houses. There's one ranch,
I mean,
the
I'm
rest are
happy to
colonials.
provide pictures of the homes to the board if they'd like to see that. But if we make a change there to the quality rating, which there's nothing really been provided to support that.
So,
But did it change from when he asked them to come back for the, when he asked them to come back, what he's saying is that it was 20%. It didn't change from 20 to 30?
It changed from average plus 20 to average plus 30 during the field review, not when we went back out to re-inspect the property.
and based on what assumptions? Because you're making the same assumptions about my neighbors who stayed at average 20.
Based on similar homes throughout town. They're all graded consistently throughout town.
But the houses that surround me that are literally identical didn't get the
They're not
treatment?
identical.
They didn't get the
They're
treatment?
not identical, though. We talked about that during the hearings. I mean, they're not identical.
So my house is somewhat,
Where's your house?
Bear Run. So 6 Bear Run to my house, and I'm not that I want to open the door and have my taxes go up anymore. But anyway, but I mean, my house assessment was at 850 something, I think. I don't even remember at this point. I don't see that house being 900 either. I just don't, I don't get it.
Well, think about Tallarico. Someone can go down to Tallarico, buy a brand-new house with no wear and tear on their systems, no brand-new systems. My systems are 12 years old. I'm already starting to have issues with my furnace. My roof is half its life. I have wear and tear from raising kids for 12 years. You can go down to Tallarico, buy the same house, same price. You can buy a brand-new house, no wear and tear, pick your own selections. And I know that's not how it necessarily works.
No, it doesn't,
But a typical buyer is not gonna pay $900,000 for this house. You don't need to be an appraiser to know that.
But you are an appraiser, Brian, so did you look at what properties were selling for in town and compare them to your home?
I am an appraiser, but to prevent me from looking biased, I didn't even go there. Plus, the information is so overwhelming. I have literally the 4 houses that were built by White Birch Builders with the same exact people in every single house doing every single job in that house, the same hardwood guy, the same desk guy, the same offerings for quality. It's about quality, right? All things being adjusted in the building rate differently, it's the quality. The quality is still vinyl siding, still the same vinyl double hung windows that are drafty. It's the same hardwood guy, same cabinet maker that made the cabinets. It's the same fixtures in the bathroom. It's the same hardware box store lighting. I mean, we're not talking some upgraded house with, I walk in and I have this beautiful mudroom and I have this laundry room. My laundry is a foot away from my toilet in my bathroom. This is just a 2,300 square foot house that has an extra bathroom, a bedroom and bathroom essentially. Otherwise, it's a regular house that you would raise your kids in. It's not a luxury house. Hardwood and granite are the only thing that are upgraded. And that's normal for that kind of house. It's expected. So I don't understand how we can't view number 12, number 9, number 14 on my street, number 1, number 4, number 5 is the ranch, on my street, 46 Tanager, 40 Tanager, 42 Tanager, 43 Tanager, ton on Fallon, ton on Bear Run, Aldridge, Hamel, Horizon. There's dozens more that are average 20 that are 2,300, 2,400 colonials. They're all going to have hardwood. They're all going to have granite. That's what people expect now. That's what people are paying for. Again, I'm not. When you put it into the building rate calculations, there's still differences that are being adjusted for.
Was yours built before or after the ones that she's considering?
After. So the first 7 were built by Tashiro, and then the last 4 were built by White Birch at a different day, a later date. Yep.
So I'm looking at mine, I'm a plus 20, and again, I don't want to put a can of worms for myself, but I literally in the last 5 years, new roof, new vinyl siding, new front porch, new back porch, interior updates. again, don't take my address down, please.
Already got it, don't worry about it.
Get avatared, careful.
You'll get avatared.
I mean,
Oh, it's a
I was-
verb.
I'll pay, I will pay what's fair for me to pay. I mean, my point being is that I, just at the surface, and I'm not an assessor, I'm a lay person when it comes to this. It does feel high.
Because of the 30%.
Well, the plus 30, I guess.
The plus
Mine's
30.
plus 20, that's what I'm saying. If yours is plus 30, that means better, right? Mine's plus 20. I already did all this work. You haven't even replaced your siding yet.
Imagine what I thought when I saw 977 when the garage was converted.
Yeah.
That might have triggered a date in their system. That's doing a different calculation.
I
She says no,
I
though.
honestly
She
think
says
if
it was
that,
done
Yeah,
at,
she's saying
she said no, that
if
was
that
my
garage was never
question.
converted on their system, they would have
Could be
never
a
changed it.
problem
I'm
with the
99%
algorithm.
certain. It got changed because they were there doing the garage and they assumed that it was all updated, and then, you know, even honestly appealing it, it was jumping through hoops. Here I have a 2-car attached garage, and I'm made to feel like a criminal that illegally converted my garage. I have like 8 permits on file. I live in a subdivision. It's not this backside garage in downtown Manchester where you're trying to fit a unit in. And yeah, sure, people do it, but give me a break. ADUs are illegal in town, and if I was gonna do it, I would just do it. I've done a bunch of other things. To have to jump through hoops, to have to hear the sob story of everyone hates an assessor, I get it. I don't hate assessor. I just want a fair value. So give me the opportunity to have a fair value and pay my fair share. Even at 852, if I went out and got an appraisal, I could potentially, like you said, I could get 5 appraisals, maybe they're lower. But I tell you, 852 is at least supported by numbers. It's supported by Avatar's own numbers if you use the original data, and it's also backed up by that ratio, that old and new assessed ratio. And with no changes to my house, that's a very good supporting cross-check.
Yeah, mine's 756. That's why I'm struggling, such a gap there.
Yeah,
You're literally
and I do have a
box throw
pool.
away.
So I do have a pool and I
So
do
it's
have
okay.
sheds, but that's all adjusted in the extra features.
Yeah.
I have $43,000 in extra
Why
features.
did you change it from the 20%?
So what makes you a 30? Just that vinyl shakes, whatever you call them?
Well, that's
Sure.
actually handled separately. That's handled in the siding.
So why are you a 30 now? Don't you go back to 20? Are you a 30?
I'm
right now?
a 30 right now, and that's my big argument. Yeah, the siding thing is less important to me, although principle-wise, I don't necessarily agree with 3.6% of my siding being vinyl, that all of a sudden I have to get $5,100 extra in assessed value.
Wait, give us a second.
I'm gonna make a motion that we deny the denial and return it back to where it was, based on the evidence given to us.
20%.
The 20% and,
Move it back to
because
20%
he's come
value.
loaded with information.
Well, I don't know.
And I've been in that neighborhood, I've done a lot of work in there, a lot of those houses are very similar.
If the last time he was assessed, it was
Yeah.
20%, and he had 20%,
Well, that's not percent, that's just the quality.
20%
That's the
quality, okay, if it was a 20%
not
quality
every
before, and he hasn't done a lot of work to the house.
So, Brian, you believe your assessment should be closer to 852, 835, 852?
I believe based on things, without using my appraisal hat again, just simply using the building rate calculation, using the original information that was in it before the reval, which again, nothing's changed. And then using that ratio as a, except for what?
Except we valued anew, so this is why, the whole town was reassessed.
No,
It's not a factor that's applied, every property is reassessed.
But what he's contesting is that it went from the 20%
To
to
the
30%.
Not,
No, I understand what
it's
he's
not the percent,
contesting, but
though.
that's, we need to look at the whole town again. There's a lot of properties that have changed quality ratings throughout town.
But there's a lot that
Compare them
haven't.
to the sale properties, so
well,
did you
slippery
second
slope,
my
that's
motion?
all I'm saying, it's a slippery slope.
no, he didn't get a second yet, because I don't
Somebody
think it was,
does.
I don't
Somebody
think,
do
I
that.
don't think it's constructed right at first. Lauren,
Yes.
help me understand,
I want to get her to.
because the first thing I heard
Just
was,
second it and I'll call it.
you will in a second. You had the quality plus 20, plus 30. What does the extra 10 do to the value rate on your assessment? What's the percentage of that increase?
I want to second that motion before, and then we can open it back up for discussion. Can't we?
Yep.
No, because one, okay, let me just
What's
say.
the motion?
The motion was to deny the denial, and I'm just saying, well,
Not accept for denial, yes.
right, but we also have the opportunity to actually change it and make it what we want it to be.
Right.
So I'm trying to get to that.
That's why
point.
I'm
I
saying
said that.
open it,
Bring
reopen
back
it
to
for
the 20
discussion
and-
after.
Yes, to the
All right.
8:42.
So we have a motion to deny the denial, or not approve denial.
And then we're
We have a
opening it
second
for
by Ms.
discussion.
Plansky.
And then
keep on our discussion.
reopen for discussion.
It's now for discussion. So
Yeah,
it's crazy. It is what it is. This is first problem, we've never really done this before. We've never really had these kind of conversations, so this is really new for everybody. I think it's a good thing to do. I think we're hearing some problems we gotta deal with. But Brian, I asked you a question. I don't care if it's your assessor's hat or whatever, but where do you think your value sits that you feel that in your neighborhood, where do you think it's at?
Well, again, I have to caution myself for not rendering an opinion of value verbally. So, because I haven't pulled sales, but what I have done is reworked the building rate calculation using the original data of average plus 20, the 8 fixtures, which is already agreed upon, just needs to be corrected, and then the exterior siding, just vinyl siding, and that results in 852.1 using their own numbers in their own table 9 in the report. So using that, I have it all here. I have literally every step that you add. Once you determine the building cost new, you depreciate it, and then you add the site value and the extra features. You come up with 852.1. If you were to keep the exterior siding thing in there, because it does technically have vinyl shakes, 3.6% of it, which you have to then count it as 50% because it goes into two numbers get averaged. You take the vinyl siding, which is 35 points, and then the above average rating, which is 37, it averages to 36. So that's a 1 point, but that results in $5,100 more. That results into 857 number. So again, not using my appraisal hat, but looking at the numbers based on their own information, and then using that ratio as kind of a cross-check, it would be anywhere from 843 to 852, or 857 if the exterior siding had to be included that way.
And the vinyl shakes have been on there for how long?
They're 12 years, and
12
they
years.
were bright brown when I put them
So-
on, and they're almost gray now.
So you've been through 2 previous assessments with them on there,
Yeah,
and
23.
not been penalized.
All right, I'll make an amendment to the motion to reduce the assessment and approve the abatement to 852,100. Do I have a second?
Right, second.
Second by Ms. Gannon.
You want me to
Mr.
withdraw
Gannon.
my? should I
no, he just
withdraw mine?
amended it.
I just amended the
Okay.
amendment. All right,
Yep,
so
we should be okay.
any discussion on the amendment?
Yeah, I just want to question the vinyl again. You said it was $5,100. That if you
That's-
included that with the 852, 100 and the 5,100, it'd be 857.
So if you put the,
The 850, can I clarify?
Yeah, go ahead,
Yes,
Lauren.
ma'am.
Yep, go ahead, Lauren.
So if you reduce the quality to an A2, it reduces the assessment to 852.1.
Yep.
I would urge you not to touch the vinyl shakes, the quality rating.
Yeah, I agree with her.
All right, so we
So
don't go
we're
to
at
857,
851.
so leave it at
That is-
852.
We added that, we started collecting that data during the site inspection process, and then that was added, I don't even know when, but it's been systematically being added into the system. So everyone now that has vinyl shakes, it is classified as such. So that's a bigger physical data component, quality rating, a little bit more subjective.
Okay.
So just the A2 quality rating brings it to 852.1 with the fixture correction.
Brian, does that make sense to you?
that's
what he's asked for, so-
completely supported, and that's all I'm looking for.
Yep.
Yep.
I know my taxes are gonna go up, I'm all paying for my fair share, but $1,000 is different than $2,800, which would have been the result if we didn't even attest the garage and everything else. So,
Okay, so we
All in
vote.
favor, all in favor for the amendment?
To 852,100.
852,100? Aye.
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 All right, so now the motion is to approve the abatement for 852,100. Do all in favor of that?
No, do you have to
We have
make
to do a
motion for
second?
that?
Yeah, 'cause
we
we have to
already-
approve it, because we have to
I thought
approve it.
okay,
We're approving
yes.
an amendment.
Okay.
So, opposed? No, motion carries 5-0-0. So now, it's been approved for 852.1 as the assessment. That's what we did.
Yes, we'll take care of the paperwork and calculate the interest.
Thank you, Lauren.
I
And
appreciate that.
so we can't sign this, so just put that, in the next meeting will be in the, just put in the, send and we'll sign the paperwork.
Thank you, Brian. You brought a
Thank
lot
you.
of
Thanks
data.
for
We
listening to it.
appreciate
Yeah, really.
Sorry for rambling in the beginning.
Oh, no, no, it's okay.
Yeah, we can, I can
I originally
write
had a
the
speech, but I didn't realize it's not
information that
appropriate, so.
Karen needs.
Yeah.
You know what? You did
In
great.
there.
Yeah.
And once we realized what you were
She
talking
wants
about,
to
the
get
20 to 30,
started on
that was
the-
helpful.
Sign
And
it
if
tonight.
someone else comes in behind you, now we know what this means, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, we're good.
Brian, thank you very
All right,
much.
Thanks
thank
so
you.
much,
Thanks for
Brian.
listening to me. Sorry for taking up so much time.
Nope, no
Appreciate
worries.
the input.
That's what we're here for.
Good night. We're here for the night.
You could've brought coffee.
So now we have, map 22, lot 14, sub 1, which is
Okay, now we're
Mustang
gonna
Drive.
find that. Yeah.
How you doing, sir?
I'm well, how are you?
I'm well. If you can just state your name and obviously your address.
My name is Dan Weldon,
Which one is
live at 82A Hovey Road in Londonderry. I'm the manager of the Corning Farm LLC on Mustang Drive.
That's what you're talking.
it?
All right.
John, if we could just start with, I'm not sure the board knows the difficulties with this property, and how this all kinda came about.
This is quite a few properties, right?
I mean,
Yeah, this is
these are
Reggie's
the these are
horse
the
farm.
properties that were condemned. Correct, Lauren? These are the properties that are being individually sold. Is that correct?
Mustang Drive.
You're
But some of them are condos and some of them are.
You hear us?
No,
Yes,
she's
I can
not.
hear you.
Oh, you
Okay.
can.
All right.
I didn't know if you're directing it to me. I
Oh,
can't really,
sorry.
you guys are small, so I can't see you too well.
Oh, sorry, yes, so
Alright, so these are the, if they're depreciated, these are the ones that he didn't put as much money into,
these are
because
the
he's renting.
condominiums that are being sold.
Correct.
Okay.
As of April 1st, the date of the assessment, were condo docs received by the town.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you explain why you think it's wrong?
Yeah, so my partner got all the assessment cards, and he said to me, "Hey, Dan, take a look at these. I think they're a little high. See if you can find out what's wrong." I said, "Yeah, well, I can tell as soon as I look at it. Here's a building where they're all 4-unit buildings, and their typical full value assessment is 1.6 million. And I said, I can see that something's wrong right here, because this was just a foundation, and it's assessed at 1.6 million. And I believe that was 2 buildings that had that same issue. And I said, we're way over assessed, so we had to go through all of our records and go back, and we communicated with Lauren, and she made her recommendation of what she thinks the new assessment should be. We're still a little bit not in agreement with that. We're in agreement, so there's 5 buildings, 3 Mustang, 7 Mustang, 5 Mustang, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. Those are all the buildings that were in dispute. And I think there were quite a few of them that were assessed at full value. Right now, we're in agreement with, let me see what's on my phone here. So we're not in agreement with 3 and 5 Mustang. I believe Avatar and us are in agreement with the state that it was in on April 1st. We're just not in agreement on the percentage that Avatar is assigning to that finish. So what was there, we had just finished, all 8 units were in the same state. They were sheetrocked. And we were in the process of installing hardwood on the first floor in all 8 units. And it takes about a week to do a unit in hardwood. They install it, it's all sanded in place. They install it, they stain it, they sand it, they put a coat of urethane on it, they buff it again, the urethane it. So all 8 units were having the hardwood installed. but we didn't have any paint, we didn't have any trim, we didn't have any kitchen cabinets, we didn't have any countertops or sinks, we didn't have any toilets or vanities or sinks, we just had sheetrock.
But she would assume that you were going to finish them at the same level as the other units that she had looked at, is that correct?
That's correct, but they weren't finished to that point on April 1st.
Lauren?
So he's being charged for work that has
So-
not been completed.
Wait, what,
First
it's
thing
been
that
completed by
happened, if
now?
I could explain. So this, this was converted to a condo unit. And when the records were initially given to field staff to go out and pick this up, I didn't have that new condominium card entered yet. So he went out with that original map 22 lot 14 and picked up the new buildings on that new card. And then we subsequently added, you know, lot 14 as condominium units, so we had to separate that out. So there was something lost in translation there from his initial visit to that, so some of those depreciations did not get added. I had Karen pull the initial field cards that were attached to map 22 lot 14, and with what Dan had provided for level of finish, I was able to get to where I am right now. He's correct that map, or number 3 and number 5 Mustang were at similar state of completion. We disagree on the percentage, but we're applying 15%, which is kind of industry standard for our depreciation schedule for new construction, to account for the interior trim, doors, floors, paint, and kitchen needed. So we agree on what needs to be done in those 2 units. It's different. I mean, for us, he's saying that's 50% complete in their terminology. When we're picking up new construction, 50% complete is a weather-tight building, so framed with a roof and windows. So this is accounting for the cost to cure the interior. That's what we are recommending. I think we ended up fixing 7 Mustang to account for the fact that it was framed but lacked finished roof, windows as a 4-1. And then on 9 and 11, which I think initially got entered in fully without the depreciation. 9 was a full foundation. There's some question, I got some additional documentation from Reggie today showing that as of 4-1, 11 Mustang was only half poured, and the other half didn't get poured till 2 days later. So it was a foundation, footing, steel, walls, but only concrete poured on half, not the other half. So that's how I'm arriving at the reduction and to account for that lack of finish as of April 1st.
So we're in agreement with 7 and 9, and 11, the disagreement we have, which is what you just brought up, it was not a complete foundation, it was a half of a foundation, because the form guys don't have enough forms to do the whole 4-unit building, so they pour 2 units, then they strip their forms and they come over to the other 2 units and form those up and pour those. We had a half of a foundation being poured on April 1st. The inspector went out there in the morning, he inspected the half of the foundation, looked at the rebar, gave us the okay to pour concrete. Sometime during the day on April 1st, we poured the concrete. And then the next day, we broke it all down, moved it over to the second half of the foundation, and we poured that on April 4th. So, building 9, is it building 9?
That was building 11.
11, should be half of the assessment that we got. Building 7 and 9, we're in agreement on both of those. We're not in agreement on 11. We're not in agreement on the I think Avatar and us are in agreement on what was completed, but we're not in agreement of what that relates to as a percentage of completion for the buildings. The standard, I know Avatar probably has their own standards that they go by, but as appraisers, but I scoured the internet to try and find some kind of information on what that standard of completion is, and I couldn't find anything. I know when we go to banks for a loan, they give us their table of completion, and it's broken down pretty accurately, and they're all between, when you get to the sheetrock stage, that constitutes 50 to 60% completion.
Lauren, from the information you got from Reggie today, do you recommend that we do an adjustment to the abatement?
Yes, it would affect card 6, which is 11 Mustang. So where it was only half a foundation instead of the value at 123.3, it should be reduced an additional 61,650.
Okay.
So that brings the total to what?
Does that sound right to you, sir?
Dana?
Does that sound
A
right to you?
second.
Yes.
That's correct? Okay.
Let me see, so 432. That would bring the revised assessment to 4,264,418.
And how much did you bring it down, Lauren?
It was at 6,466,668.
No, so I'm sorry, for the depreciation factor only.
Oh. I didn't, I don't even know what that equates to in depreciation. I literally am taking the value and just dividing it in half because it's only half a foundation.
616.
61,650.
61,650.
Yeah, let me see what that,
What percentage?
yeah, I mean, I'd have to enter, it's only really for the abatement because it's gonna change as a 4126, but, it would round to 61.7, which would put a depreciation of 96% on it. Okay. Versus 92 for the foundation.
So the new assessed value would be 4,000,000.
264. 4,264,418, Lauren, is that correct?
Yeah, it's gonna round it $50 there, but let me give that back to you 1 second. Calculator, shut off. So what was that? Yeah, so it'll be, let me see, I gotta do it again, because I'm getting a different number. Fat fingers, I don't know, 4,327,068, and then it'll be minus 67, would be 4,265,368. If I just did my math right.
265,368.
Yeah, it's not my thing.
It's not, I was going to do a round number.
So that's $2 million, almost a $2 million reduction.
Yeah, glad that's not my job.
So 4,265,000.
2.2.
Okay, so far.
You
So we
good?
have right now.
Can we do something with 3 and 5?
I don't know
Thought
if
we agreed, I thought,
we agreed 3 and 5 are
Yeah.
what they
Yeah,
are.
3 and 5, I thought we were
Yeah.
done.
Yeah,
There was just that 11.
so
3, we agreed on 7 and 9. We're in agreement with that, and now we're in agreement with 11.
Okay.
3 and 5, we're in agreement with what was completed. We're just not in agreement on the percentage of completion that constitutes.
Well, I think she indicated that's sort of the standard they use.
That's her standard.
That's the assessing standard.
Is there any public information on that that can
I
be
don't know
seen?
if that's in our use PAP report, but I'm happy to provide a copy of the schedule. I mean, it's used, you know, we're not the only company, it's an industry standard, so I mean, I'm happy to provide that if it's not already in the use PAP.
Did you
I know
check-
when Dan was out there speaking, my Dan, our Avatar Dan, was speaking with you about that, because I know you guys talk in different percentages than we talk, but at the end of the day, we're accounting for a lack of interior finish altogether in the units. And that's what equates to 15% on the building. You know, when you're going for a new construction loan and they're talking about 50%, that's land and building. So that's why that usually equates to 50%, but that's including land value. This is only building we're applying that to.
Okay,
But I can definitely get you my schedule so you can see how we do that, because that's consistently applied through new construction, you know, pretty much across the state.
okay, that would be great if you could do that.
And what are we
I
reducing?
can get in, I can email it to both you and Reggie.
Okay, you have my email?
Well,
Yes, I do.
Yes.
3 something.
so it's four, yeah.
What is the reduction?
So the new assessment, based on what we just did, would be 4,265,368. Yeah.
Correct.
Which is down about 2,195,300 from what was originally there.
We make a motion to accept that number, please.
Okay?
Make a motion to accept 4,265,368
As a new assessed value.
as a assessed, no assessed value.
I'll second. So motion's been made and seconded by myself and made by Mr. Leary. Further discussion?
Just ouch.
Yeah, everything's ouch. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 500.
When do these become reassessed? Is it 5 more years?
No, when they're
No,
finished.
April
When they're
1st.
finished? Okay, okay, then we're gonna be
Kim,
okay.
do you want to write the
Okay.
notes on this so you
Doing
can
it
Yeah.
before.
Yep,
sign it?
No sense of assessing it at
Yes,
4
so,
before.
right,
You get that.
again,
okay.
because
Hurry
we
up and
would
finish
like,
it.
Yeah, could you please?
We're trying.
Because right now that's an out.
Kim speaking, please, can we have one conversation?
Go ahead, Kim.
because there's interest involved, we would like a motion by the board to, issue a refund of the abatement at the calculation by the finance director. Because this significantly
Yep.
impacts our overlay.
Can you say that again? Refund of abatement per the finance director?
Yeah,
Recommendation of the finance?
at the calculations made by the finance director. We'll get the checks ready, we'll have the paperwork all done, but we wanna be able to get those checks ready because this has significant interest.
Right.
So I will make a motion to refund of abatement calculated from the finance director for map 22 lot 14 subdivision 1.
I'll second. Motion been made by Mr. Gannon, seconded by myself. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained, motion carries 500. We'll get that taken care of. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
All right, I think that concludes our abatement review.
Does it?
Yep.
You sign those,
I don't have any more papers here.
the abatements.
Can I ask a general question that I've
yeah.
always wondered about?
Except for the one-
Because you said, when a building was weather tight, you had a rating on it, right? When I see people with TVAC on their house only, because I always heard if you don't cite it, it wouldn't be worth as much. Is that true? I see, do you ever hear about people, they just put the TVAC up, but they don't put the
Well,
outside?
there's somebody
Are they
who
trying
has,
to
like,
trick the
roofing
system?
shingles on.
Lauren's
Hey,
trying to explain.
Go ahead, Lauren, sorry.
That's okay. I don't think anyone's trying to trick the system there. I think, you know, they're just not moving at a very fast pace.
I've heard people say that. I don't want to pay a different, in the past. Maybe they can't get away with it today.
I see people put, you know, only vinyl side, one side of the house, because that way they won't be assessed for it. I'm like, no, then you just get assessed for the 2 sidings you have, not one. You know, I mean, it's, what's the market value of the home? Obviously, if it doesn't have siding on it, and somebody's looking to buy it in that state, it's gonna have an impact on the value, because they're gonna have to side the home. That's what we're trying to quantify.
Makes sense.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, I think we're completed with that. I think we let you go for have your evening.
Yes,
you very
and I
much for
think
joining
there's, I think since this meeting was scheduled, I sent over one additional abatement to you.
Yes,
And
we received that.
otherwise, I think I've addressed all abatements
Okay.
to date.
That's all we got here.
Yep, that's all we have for tonight, though. Thank you.
Perfect. All right, you have a great night.
All right,
Thank
you
you,
too.
Lauren.
All right, bye-bye.
All right. Do I dare?
That was fun.
Yeah. I will open we'll go to public input first, and then we'll continue with our business, so. This will
least
be
I
your first opportunity for public input. If you
Yes.
have something, come on forward.
Okay.
At least I keep my reputation as friend of the taxpayers.
Public input at 8:14 PM.
They won.
Put 'em all down. A couple of them did. That's a good thing. What is that?
I'm gonna pass out some maps here.
Oh, God, I've seen these.
Jason brought props.
Are they,
So,
is it a
I
share?
mean, I'll preface this whole conversation with, I think Jason's been doing a lot of research. And so he finally has some free time from work.
Oh,
because
I got a
he's been so
couple
damn
here.
busy.
Yep, two.
He just wanted to come.
I think I have 3.
Oh, wait. Oh, no. I'll give you that one.
Kim's loading them over there.
Kim's got one.
Jason, name and address?
Kim Kim? Kim Kim.
Jason Brennan, 23 Aldrich. So I'm here to talk, hopefully briefly, about the state land in the south part of town that has been discussed over here for the last couple of months. And specifically about a motion that was made in December that I want to think about reconsidering that. So just to go back up to 30,000 feet, I think the town has been talking a lot about the state land in the southern part of town, which is part of the circumferential highway. As part of the Economic Development Committee, we took a look at this land, and this is one of the only pieces of property that has, viable economic development potential, if it's buildable. You still gotta check out if it's buildable down there. So that checked a lot of the boxes from the economic development perspective. Then in early December, the state came in and talked about the process on how they're gonna sell those parcels of land. And one of the key things that came out of that was the order of precedence for how they're gonna sell the land. And it went town first, New Hampshire Housing Authority second, existing renter third, and then open market fourth.
I thought the
Renters were first.
So I know what the presentation said, but we told the state that we wanted to offer it to
Renters
the
first.
residents first.
Yeah, who's ever
They
looking.
declined, we would like to look at it.
Yep.
So I know what the presentation said, I know what they said in Hudson, but our intent is if we come to learn that they're not gonna, the current renters aren't gonna buy it, we would like to look at it.
Yeah.
So,
But
I know.
based on the order of precedence that was stated, the New Hampshire Housing Authority
Would be the second,
would be
after us.
first.
No,
Because-
that's not how we took it here.
Yeah, it's town,
Here.
and then the House Authority was was in the presentation.
Yep.
But when we.
But the renters first.
But we said we didn't wanna displace anybody who wants to have that home.
Yep.
If they wanna buy it,
Yep.
we're gonna set aside.
Isn't that precedent set by the state and not by the town? So the way I watched the video multiple times, so if the town doesn't buy it, New Hampshire Housing gets the right of first refusal, then it goes to the
There's a
renter.
real big reason why he's bringing this up, though, on a particular piece of land.
No, understood. Yep.
Yeah.
But are we not looking at everything that we should be as the select board with what could happen with that land if we are not able to buy the piece that Jason has brought to our attention that he's concerned
I
about?
know, but we're supposed to have a Board of Selectmen meeting ourselves and have a committee to go discuss
But we've
that.
already made a motion. We've already made a motion.
We made a motion we said to the state, we do not wanna displace anybody who wants that home. Go ask them first.
And then a motion was made for me to communicate that to the state.
Yep.
Which was done.
Yep.
If you go back to, and this is a reason why I sent it out, go back to the presentation that was given to the Board of Selectmen of Hudson. That, which is a little bit different than what we were presented. If you look at that, it says that those residents were contacted and it was communicated with them last November of 2025.
And this is the Hudson side, Hudson residents.
No, it mentions all people that that are leasing property from the state.
Okay.
So how can the state do that if we had first right of refusal on that land?
Because they have existing leases with these people. So they have an existing business transaction with these people. What we aren't seeing is what's in that lease. Because quite often, it is not unrealistic for there to be something within that lease should the state ever, sell such property per state rules, you will be given such and such notice, if not, right to purchase the property. I haven't seen those leases. I would say if we wanna, really tackle this, let's ask to see the leases.
Let's
Because
also
did they
ask,
con-
tell the state what we're concerned about. Because what Jay has communicated is that if this one particular piece of land stays there the way it is without us having opportunity, we will not be able to utilize that as commercial land.
So
Am I
what I'm-
correct?
Let me,
Am I correct?
First off, we're in public input, and we're already getting into debates, I wanna stop that.
Okay,
Jay, why don't you lay out what you
Yep,
saw?
okay.
We will have to discuss how we're gonna rectify anything you think is wrong at that point.
okay.
I think we led with, these are residents that pay, they're in our town, we don't wanna displace them.
Absolutely did.
And that's what we did.
Get it.
If we have to go back to the state and go, all right, if they said they want it, we're still out. If they don't want it, we wanna have back dibs again.
I thought we made that.
That's exactly what I
You
thought
did.
too.
We
Yeah.
did,
So-
okay.
I wanna
Okay.
know what the presentation said.
So I got
All
a
right,
process here that I just,
Okay.
so, my point of all this is that I feel that that motion was made and that discussion was made without going up to 30,000 feet and taking a look at what we have to work with here. And, so I think that motion was made kind of in a bubble. And so my main point is, before we tell the state, hey, we're not interested in these lots, let's take a time out, let's take a look at what's on the table, what's in front of us, and what is possible, and then make a decision from there, because I don't think that vetting had been done yet. I'm gonna go over the maps real quick, John, just to kind of show you what I'm looking at. So what I did is I put together a series of maps of the whole layout. If you take a look from the left side of the map to the right side of the map, you see a 38-acre piece of property to the to the western side of Route 3A, which is just south of the 55 and older community and has very same attributes to the 55 and older community. Then you have the center parcel, which is 110 acres, and it goes from 3A to Route 102. There's a big chunk of wetlands in there, so we don't know, the exact extent of it. There is upland in there, but it's a big chunk of property. Then if you look at 102 toward the right-hand side of the map, and the town border is the pink versus the white, those are Hudson properties down there, you see two pink dots on the map. Those, you see what I'm talking about on the map, you see two pink circles on the map.
Yep.
On top of two properties.
Yep.
Those are parcels that have buildings on them, and most likely have renters
Right.
in those buildings. One of those properties, the one in the middle, is, in my opinion, if the town wants to use this for economic development purposes, that is a vital property to be able to get to the back 40 and to retain frontage on Route 102. That, unfortunately, that piece of property right there in the middle cuts in half the frontage. So you end up going from 800 feet of frontage on 102, which could provide some economic development possibilities in town, to unusable frontage. There's 200 feet on one side, 200 feet on another, there's 250 feet in the middle, so you're kind of like breaking things up. I'm not suggesting, the chances of the town being able to purchase this and do something with economic development on our front is probably slim to none, but I wouldn't want to take that piece off the table. I would want to have a group sit down, take a look at this holistically. These are, this piece of property is rented by somebody in town. It's possible, folks that rent move on and so on and so forth, and once it's gone, it's gone. And so I'd want to just take a holistic view at all this
to just kind of figure out what's right, or what is possible. And in doing that, I think, talking to the state and saying, hey, we want to back off of that a second, you always have the opportunity to decline. I just wouldn't want to put it out up front. I would want to hold that card to the vest and decline when declining is appropriate. So map 1 gives you a lay of the land from west to east. If you go to map 2, it is the exact same map and just gives you an aerial view of what's going on. So you can kind of see where the 55 and older community is and so on. If you look to the right side of Route 102, notice that there's a 12-acre property and an 8-acre property that's stitched together. And there is limited property, when there's discussion about we got to figure out what Hudson's doing. Hudson's a non-factor when it comes to our portion of the property of it, because there's really no state land on the Hudson side except for 2 smaller pieces. The big chunk is actually Alvern. Alvern owns quite a bit. If you go to map 3, that's where there's the blow-up area of Route 102, and you can see the 2 pink dots. So if there were economic development purposes to use, abilities to use that back 40 back there, you'd have to squeeze through that little piece right here to be able to get back there, and according to the map, that's 80 feet back there. And so unfortunately, that property right there with the pink dot on it holds all the cards for the frontage and holds cards to get to the.
It makes sense.
the back 40.
But didn't the state say right-of-ways were part of this, right? I don't know what if it has a right-of-way on it. Didn't the state say right-of-ways went with it?
Yeah, could be.
I don't know if you looked at that,
could
Jason.
be
That's
that.
all I'm asking.
There's a lot that we don't know.
Right.
And there's a lot we don't understand.
Yeah.
And I really feel like, we were all talking, we all pretty much agreed, and I was the one that made the motion. I just want to make sure that we really understand what we have here. And this is gonna be something that we're gonna live with as a town going forward for a very long time. So I just wanna make sure that we completely understand what we're doing, so that we can present to the voters maybe next year. I know they said they would take their time with us because they knew that we had to get to deliberative and we had to get here, we had to get there. We wanna talk about that. I just wanna make sure we take our time, and I feel like we did rush with that one piece, even if it was the right thing to do. I just feel like I didn't understand.
You made a motion, we'll clarify it. I think what our next step was, we were supposed to put together a committee to start thinking about what we wanna do, because it would be a huge taking for the town to, one, we buy all this land without an idea. So we have to get together an idea. I think what we have to do now is try to figure out how to form that committee, right? And I think,
Could be the Economic Development Committee.
they're already defunct and gone.
Is there a motion made?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's already closed.
Yes.
Close.
I think the talk has been that it would be, conservation, recreation, planning, zone, kind of talk it through and figure out what those use cases could be as like an active work.
I would ask Jay to come in on that too.
You could get out there and find out that it's way more
RJ.
wet than it looks out here, and it might not
And
even be
RPCJ.
buildable, but we don't know.
I like what you're
Somebody
doing.
that
I'm
would
just
be
saying,
valuable
if there's
to
a
be in
right-of-way,
that.
just make sure you look at that, that's all.
One at a time.
All right, can I finish my last 2 things? Okay, map 4 just shows the wetlands as, these aren't mapped wetlands, from the National Wetlands Inventory, so they're general in nature, but it kind of shows you where wet areas may be.
That's a pretty big wet area.
Yep, you'd have to go up around the north to get to that back chunk.
Or you abandon all that up to the north and just deal with Charles Bancroft.
So then you flip to the last page, John. That kind of gets the key to Charles Bancroft. I was able to find this old map, and if you notice on the previous map, there's like, where the mobile home park is here,
Yeah.
there's a little
Sliver down there, yeah.
sliver down there.
There's a road.
Yeah.
That right-of-way in there, according to this old map, is 60 feet. So a standard right-of-way is
That's
50 feet. It looks like you could get a road in from Charles Bancroft to get into that back 40. My whole point here is that I just
That's
wanna,
probably,
don't
it's
jump.
probably 60 feet, because when they did the trailer park, I think they went to that instead of 50, the standard.
Yeah.
Kevin could probably tell you a little bit more of that.
So the date on this map is 1979, when it was a proposed Litchfield Industrial Park.
Yep,
So my point in all this is,
some of us were here.
yeah, we have an opportunity here. I wouldn't take cards off the table yet until we just like take a look at
That's what I'm
a look
afraid
at it
of.
holistically.
I'm just afraid we're going faster than.
No, I think that our motion that night and our whole thought process was to protect the property and the renters. I believe that's what our intent was.
That was our
And I
intent.
thought we did it fine. I'm in agreement with what you're saying, but I don't think that was where we were going at all, as far as like taking anything off the table. We wanted to protect the town's interest and protect the properties, the renters.
And I think with the motion, Kim then called the state and took those 3 properties off the table. That's,
Kim, in writing, contacted the state and did what the board asked her to do.
Right.
That's exactly what I did.
Yep.
Yeah, you didn't do
My
anything wrong.
concern
Yep.
is, that has already been done.
It was
They
done
have al-
before
they have
we
already
did it.
progressed. So if you
Passed.
have another motion, or you have something that you want to be communicated to DOT,
I-
one, I'm not sure that it can be undone at this point, because
Mm-hmm.
they have already,
They did it before we voted on it.
No,
Is
they
that
did
correct?
not. We
No.
voted on it. Kim notified them to move
We
forward.
voted for
there's
it.
nothing has
I will
gone
make a
on.
motion that we instruct our town administrator to reach it back out to the DOT or the state, wherever the proper person is. Find out the status of the residents, whether they're going to try to purchase or they're not interested. And
Okay.
reinform them that our intent is if the current renters are not interested, the town would like to have an opportunity.
Town would write
First
first
refusal.
refusal.
Correct.
Okay,
And
Specifically,
that's how we left the meeting,
Yeah.
but it seems to be confused, and we want to restate that.
okay,
specifically on lot
fair enough.
226.
We want the whole
All of
thing,
it,
the whole
all of
thing.
it. We may want it all.
The only other thing I would strongly suggest, and quite frankly, if you look back 2 years ago when I came, the tax maps on this property were wrong. There have been several different iterations of information on this property. So before any real decisions were made, I would suggest that you have it properly investigated and surveyed.
They surveyed, okay.
Yeah.
So I have a motion, do I have a
That's a good
second?
idea.
Town said it
Second.
wrong.
Second by Mr. Leary. Discussion or further discussion? All right. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 500, so you have yours. I know you're gonna
Okay.
travel tomorrow, but if we can
No,
get it.
you found it.
So,
What's
so
this?
looking back at
I thought
it,
you passed me something.
Tabernacle Church's parking
Right
lot is
now.
Give me
actually
some now?
state property.
that's what it says.
That's what it says, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was noticing too.
What does it say?
That's,
They're aware, they're aware,
they're aware.
Really?
they're aware, there's been abatement and discussion on this prior.
We're
I
not
just
kicking the
wanna-
church out either.
No, but I mean, that's
Prob's not.
going from
Bob might get
squeezing
mad.
in
I
at
don't need that.
76 feet, that's roughly,
Well, I-
that's almost 300 feet.
My suspicion was Tabernacle thought they weren't gonna be there at that point.
Right, Tabernacle, yeah.
Now they're
Probably
not.
the housing.
They're gonna stay for.
Mr. Chair, the other thing I'd be interested to know is that order of precedence again.
Yeah.
Because we just, at the beginning of the meeting, we were
Stated.
fumbling around here, really understanding, and to me, it went that logical order. Town doesn't want it, it goes to the, opportunity goes to New Hampshire Housing Authority.
Correct.
New Hampshire Housing Authority doesn't want it,
Yeah,
it
and
goes,
and our motion wasn't that we didn't want it. We didn't wanna displace the residents that were there. Find out if they're gonna buy it first. If they're not,
but they don't have the first option, the New Hampshire Housing
they told
Authority
us they did, so that's.
as the
what I'm saying.
first option.
In their, the presentation they gave us, it has town and then the, housing authority.
Yeah.
It says residents, town, housing authority. No, it says town.
Can we check that and
Mention.
re-clarify that?
We're
please?
gonna clarify it, cause at this point, I
I
agree.
just wanna go slower. They said we could go slow. I want to go slower.
Well, we
I
can't-
wanna make sure that we're
Well, we,
understanding.
if you're thinking about bringing something forward in the following March election, you can't go slower. We need to now,
This fall, this one?
this, yeah,
Not
not this
year,
March.
but next
year.
That's already
right.
done and
27.
Yeah.
sealed. we have to go, if we're all in agreement, we'll find out what the state says. If they tell us we're out of luck because we said something different, whatever, we'll figure that out. But, we need to form this group to start thinking.
Yep.
And I think, Jason, if you're interested, I know I'd like to have you on it because you have all the insights, but at the end of the day, we need to form a group that can come back and go, all right, these lots are viable, we can use them. Now what are we gonna do with it? And how do we present it to the residents about, we wanna buy it and then
Why?
market it and why we wanna do that,
Why?
right? What's our
It
vision
is,
look
but
like,
it should
right?
be reimbursed.
Oh, yeah, it would
Quickly.
be, it would be.
It
but
should be
it's- but it's a
reimbursed
big
quickly.
upfront
Assume so,
cost,
but we're gonna have to, we're probably have to bond to get the money, the buy.
Oh, absolutely.
And let's not forget,
So,
Yep,
we have to sell it.
yep.
yeah, we have to sell it, we have to bond it, and in 2027, the school is gonna come forward a bond. That's gonna be another challenge, so.
But
there's
that's
a lo-
not something that will
There's,
ever be.
there's a lot of
implemented.
things that are happening that voters may not accept it, but I think if you formulate the right plan and sell it, we may get the right support, because I do think we need to do something with it. I totally
And
agree.
if you have even if the town doesn't buy it and you have a plan, you can at least communicate with the potential developer of,
What we're thinking,
what the concepts were,
Yep.
and maybe they'll work with you.
Yep.
So,
But we definitely need someone, like, when I looked at this project from the way I thought of it, saw all the open land, saw it on the river, was very concerned about erosion at the river. My first thought, because I come from that conservation background, was how do I protect the areas that are wetlands, that are, could be vernal pools, that could be eroding, how do we protect that? It's important.
Well, the thing
Why
is
you
that our
laughing?
zoning
That's-
will protect, our zoning will
Well,
protect
vernal
that
pools,
stuff.
I hung out with Joan too much.
But our zoning will protect that stuff, our planning board will protect those things. Remember, we have a survey that happened, and we got two different feedbacks.
yep.
We need economics, we need some commercial, and we need to conservation.
Exactly,
They're,
but
they're
by looking at
opposites,
it,
right? But if we can get something where we can blend it, make it into, benefits up
a
for the
river
whole
walk
community,
type thing, yeah.
plus some commercial income that would help the town,
Yep.
then we have to go with that kind of that feel, right?
I'd like to see the side by the river, 38 acres, retained by conservation. That would be great, because it's along the river. But then the rest of it be commercial industrial.
It's a, yeah, but it's a beautiful piece of land.
There's a
You could-
lot, there's a
if you
lot
could,
to think about it, but my one small narrow way of looking at things overlooked the fact of an easement to get in, or whatever that is, to get into the area, and how we could, we're all looking at it from our perspectives, we just need someone who's more versed and really smart about these to come in and help us make this be the right decision going forward for the whole town, that we don't have to live with something that we don't like.
So I guess the question is, does the board want to take an action on beginning the formation of this committee? And I guess my ask would be, would Jason mind heading the committee? Because you have a vision, you have the knowledge of this, of the stuff,
You have the time.
You love the town.
and we need you to work.
Because we don't meet 3 times a month.
Yeah.
Why don't we form a committee and ask him to be on it, but let the committee
Yep.
decide
Not
who's
the
gonna
chair.
run it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Let them
okay.
decide who's gonna run
So, yeah, so we need to form a committee, and obviously, first member, right, if we can do that. My vision, the thought about the committee, I thought we talked about this before, at least maybe kind of not formally, but like I said, I think planning, someone from planning is being involved, I think even someone from the economic side that was in the economic development, we should see if they want to join one body, just to kind of share their view on what they did with economics. And then obviously, any town department that would actually want to be involved.
I'd like to
too.
be the selectman that works on it, if I could be. I don't know if everybody's gonna arm wrestle me for that or not be interested, but
Well, let's see what elections bring. We might have a new committee at the table, right? That's true. Before you put a committee together, who's gonna be
Yeah.
there, right?
yeah,
I like to see. We can agree to start.
we can agree to.
Oh,
start.
I definitely should start,
Yeah, so let's-
absolutely.
It'll be a subcommittee of the Board of Selectmen, so
Yep.
actually, based by the bylaws of that, I think the subcommittee is actually chaired by whoever's the selectman rep, so if you're prepared to do that, then I guess that'll be you, but there is an election, so I think our intent is right after the election, this committee needs to get.
Gotcha. I had one last item related to this. I'd also be interested with the town, New Hampshire Housing Authority, renter, I did a little bit of research on the New Hampshire Housing Authority, and I will say that it was AI research, so you know that's 50-50 at best. We would have to pay fair market value. The renter would have to pay fair market value. My AI research says that New Hampshire Housing might not have to pay fair market value
Oh, that's
for the
interesting.
property.
That is correct?
Correct?
Yeah.
Yep. So that's a factor as well, so.
Yeah, when they did the presentation, I thought they said everything was fair market. Like, we couldn't even get, like, we should
Not
get,
for
we should get a
housing.
discounted
We
rate.
should get a
We should
discount.
get a discounted rate to begin with, and I don't know.
Well, maybe we'll have to try and negotiate
New
that.
Hampshire Housing, according to, ChatGPT, though they could be gifted land, but because this land came from highway funds, most likely they would have to pay the cost of the highway funds to kind of put the money from one pocket
Pay what they actually
to
pay
the
for
other.
it, basically.
We
Paying
have
that.
the situation with Broad Street Parkway and Matthew, same type of situation. Because it came from federal highway funds. You have to pay back the federal highway funds first, and then decisions can be made.
So they purchased these properties 20 years ago for, throw a number out of the air, $100,000 or whatever it is. And, so that's point of interest too.
Well, Jason, thank you for
Yep.
bringing it forward and
Thank you.
highlighting it.
John,
And,
I will offer to do it in chair until after elections, and then after elections, we can look at who's available from the selectmen, just to put a name in it for now. Because I'm not up for reelection.
all right, so I'll make a motion that we formulate a subcommittee to study the state land and the usage and how we could acquire and put it to benefit to the community. Do I have a second?
Yep.
Second by Mr. Leary. Any further discussion? Go ahead, Kim.
May I ask, is this subcommittee reporting
To
to
the
the
Board of
Board of
Board.
Selectmen before any action?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's gotta follow the same guidelines.
Yep.
Just when we established the Economic Development Committee, the board actually made a charge so that it was particularly clear.
I would prefer that they would explore it, make recommendations, and let the board make the decision.
Thank you, Jay.
All right, on the motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 5-0-0. And, at least to get the committee established with members and seeking their members, I would like to appoint Ms. Plansky as the chair at the moment, to help formulate the meeting schedule and kind of get the agenda going and sort of the charge, if you want to call it.
To be reevaluated after election.
We can reevaluate after elections if you want.
Okay.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded by Mr. Gannon. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries 4-0-1. You'll be hearing from her, I'm sure.
Great.
Thank you, sir.
So,
We are still in public input, unfortunately. Steve, do you want anything?
just gonna observe.
All right, I'm gonna close public input 8:42. I think it was a lot of information, so I do think it was good it came out. I know Jay, just for clarity too, I know Jay's been working his butt off at work. He reached out to me at date like 4 o'clock, said I may come by if I get out of work in time, so that's what was on the agenda, didn't expect it to be there. But, glad we had the conversation. All right, back to the agenda. Approval of minutes. For the December 8th minutes. These have been tabled for a bit. I know there was a bunch of grammar and corrections and all that. Has everybody had a chance to look at it, and does it meet everybody's needs now?
Those changes were made.
I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
I make a motion, we accept those December.
A motion made by Ms. Plansky for December 8th acceptance. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Leary. All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries 5-0-0.
Tim's good, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Well, that's what, she
Exactly.
caught all the grammar issues and she had the corrections, so it's all good.
Yeah.
All right, minutes from December 29th, which have been tabled since the 12th, obviously. Had a chance to look and review. Any changes or any other changes that have been made? Do I have a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion to accept it. He's
Yay.
staring at me.
Do I have a second?
Yes.
Second by Mr. Leary. Discussion?
Nope, she's the most analytical person I've ever served with on this board, and in a good way.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries 500. Minutes from January 12th. Just the past weeks. Any changes, any updates? Everybody okay, a chance to review?
Did you have anything on those, Kim?
I didn't know. Did you read them?
We're good.
Of course I read them. Of course I did.
54 pages of meetings.
All right,
Yeah, right. That's why I think my eye is twitching.
I do the
do I
other
have a
one
motion to
would.
approve?
So moved.
Give it to Steve.
Motion by Mr. Gannon, do I have a second? Second by Mr. Leary. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 500. Ripping right through it. All right, we have a land use tax map 18, lot 62-18. Ms. Kleiner?
Oh, yep. Okay.
So,
Ms. Brianna?
I sign that?
this is
Sign that, yeah.
for
Yeah.
a property that has now been, being developed, so it's been disturbed, so a land use change tax needs to be assessed. This is tax map 18, lot 62-18. This is the, Talarico. So, the, land use change tax would be $21,500.
You did, you did.
Yeah, I didn't remember seeing it. Okay, thanks.
Do I have a motion?
So made?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Leary, seconded by Ms. Plansky. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries 500. All right,
Trust funds?
trustee of the trust funds request for 14,388. Ms. Kleiner?
This is the November and December payment to Avatar for the 2025
I know what Bob's vote's gonna
revaluation.
be.
This completes the payments due to Avatar for that reval.
Hallelujah.
Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Gannon, seconded by Ms.
Voice.
Greenan. Discussion? All right, all, here and see nothing, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstained, motion carries 410.
I think we saw the evidence tonight.
Oh, well.
All right, review and assignment to warrant articles. So deliberative's coming up, and we need to decide, well, I assume you all had a chance to look at the presentation that Ms. Kleiner put together. And this is, I guess, where opportunity for us to either say, we'll stay up and talk to this, or pass it on, so. Anybody have any desire to talk about anything in
Not doing zoning.
That's,
there? Well, zoning will be done by the
Eight.
planning board, right? So Mr.
Zoning.
Croto will come?
Yes,
He
zoning
does.
will be done by Mr. Croto, and Mr. Croto and Mr.
You'll do the
Minkara will
operating.
be updating the
The
slides.
chair usually does the operating budget.
The budget committee will do an operating
Oh,
budget.
JD
Yes,
will do it?
JD.
But it's their budget, it's not ours.
That is true.
That was a rule I think you guys made a
Yes.
while back.
Yeah, but I think I always stood up there with him.
Yeah, I'll
Now,
step-
Mr. Sun has updated the slides and intends to speak to it.
Yep, no, I'll step there. As a budget committee rep and the chair of the board, and then Article 10, the police cruiser,
You want that?
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I think the chief's gonna be there too, so I'll let him talk to the
Yeah, I
technical
would,
aspects.
yeah, I would let the
So
chief do it.
we'll let
So,
the,
Article
oops.
10.
yeah, Article 10 will be
Yeah.
the chief.
Yeah.
Do 11 and 12. That's all right.
Yep.
That's
I'll take
11.
What's 11 and 12 on?
The veterans and the,
Veterans.
11.
and then
But being
12
a
is the
veteran, you
elderly.
should probably not do 11.
It doesn't affect me. I
It doesn't
have no
affect
financial
you.
stake in it.
yeah, it doesn't affect them. I don't know.
There's
Okay.
no, there's no
Okay.
conflict there.
Article 11 and 12 and
Yep.
Mr. Leary.
Then Article 13 will be supplemental fire coverage. I'm assuming Chief Nichols will be there, so I would probably give it to him.
Yes,
Hmm?
I'd like to.
And I'll certainly stand beside him and help support him too, on both PD and fire too. Although I do think he needs to cut the slides down.
Give them a time limit.
We will. Article 14, with additional paving, will Mr. Brown be there? Although, based on the, well, that's 2 weeks away, so we're good.
So there was some conversation as to what should be presented.
Well,
You just talk about the need for it. I mean, we've
Yeah.
done that in the past.
I think you should have one slide and it's just, I think the slide we have and then one additional slide that basically talks about his target areas, right? Why he's asking for additional funds.
And the
And it
fact
should
that
just
it
be one
used to
slide.
be a regular thing.
Yeah.
that we pulled
And we
out.
can talk about the history too, yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Brown, if he's available?
If he's available, if he's not available, I'm happy to do it for him.
Okay.
And then Article 15, ambulance revolving fund?
Is that gonna be Doug again?
No, it has nothing to do with Doug, it's
For the,
really
for the
administration.
funding?
I'll stand up there.
Okay. Article 16, the capital reserve. I'm happy to do it. And it's just talking to it, right, why we need the need. I'm trying to keep our taxes flat. This is how we do it. Article 17, health services and health. Ms. Kleiner, would you like to talk to that one?
Sure.
Are you closer to it, you know it.
So do I have to be there?
She has to be there, so.
I'll go there with you if you want. I've done that in the past.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, we'll make you stand by yourself. Someone stand beside you.
She doesn't look afraid to stand by herself.
I'll throw
I don't think
spitballs
she's
at you.
worried about it.
Article 18, recreation
30,000
expendable
people
trust
have
fund.
Afraid of talking.
I can speak to that one if you want. Unless you wanna have Chris come in.
Well, it's either, I was gonna say Mr. Leary,
Chris.
just because he's a rep to the rec.
Oh, good,
Yeah.
good
If Chris is there and he wants to step up and talk to.
Yeah.
I'll make
Absolutely,
him.
100%.
I'll make him.
Okay.
I can't lift him, but I'll make him.
Mr. Lee.
Even if he comes from the
Mr.
audience and
Brown.
just tells why the rec is looking for it, I think it's fine.
He's the kind of guy everybody loves. He's good to have up there.
It's a big old teddy bear.
Article 19 will be Gail from the public,
All right, so
from the
Gail will be there?
library trustees.
Trustees, okay.
Running out of room. How many do we have?
A bunch.
That's Article
So
19.
So Article 20 is additional clerk hours. If Terry doesn't want to go up and talk about it, I'll do it on her behalf.
I don't
But
think
I
she'd
will-
have a problem, would she?
But I will encourage her to get up and talk about it.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, I'll ask her.
But I'll support her. I mean, I'll
Very
give her words,
Give her,
give her words.
okay.
Yeah, like we should, okay. And then the term of the,
21,
21's just a,
Checklist.
I mean, I don't even think it requires anybody to
It's
get up and talk
21.
about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we even need someone
The,
to talk about it? That's,
Can just be
The
read.
moderator can just explain it and.
Moderator.
Moderator.
Okay.
Should always be available for questions.
We'll be up there, be available.
Terry will be-
moderator and John.
Yeah, I'll take it if it's, if there's any questions.
Okay.
Okay.
And then Article 22 is
22.
the petition warrant article.
Which one is this
We'd
for?
like to have legal speak to. Okay, legal will advise as to the fact that there is significant, legal issues
Oh, the legal
with
one.
the warrant article, as a article on the town ballot cannot supersede state law.
Right.
Multiple state
So,
laws.
so we'll have attorney go up and talk to it then?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And will you be able to you're gonna modify the slides?
Is that it?
With the names in the
I
bottom?
don't have any. Mine got pulled.
Sorry.
The evaluation trust fund.
Sorry.
They'd be throwing rocks.
All right, I think that covers that,
Good.
right?
Whew. All right. I just get to sit there. This is gonna be easy.
All right. Well, believe it or not, this is time for a second public input. Mr. Perry, your opportunity.
I actually will, now that you just did that.
So I'll open the floor for public input at 8:53 PM. This is our second opportunity.
Steve Perry, 5 Liston. Now that you just went through all of the warrant articles and who's going to speak to them, as the moderator, I want to try to urge you to tell people to be as brief and descriptive as quickly as possible. There is a lot of articles here.
You're in the wrong building. You need to go to the fire station.
Doug, you
We'll have to talk to
watching?
Chuck, Chief
8
Nichols.
for
Kevin used to tell him 5 minutes or less.
zoning, right?
I, I mean, I try to keep things moving along, but
Yeah.
sometimes there's nothing we can do if someone wants to present for 10 or 15 minutes. And if that happens with 22 articles, we're gonna be there a long
Well,
time.
luckily, I think there's only, between the budget and probably those two articles, I think that those are how we're into discussion perspective.
Let's hope.
Yeah, we'll try.
That's all I have.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Good advice, sage advice.
Seeing no other public, I'm gonna close public input at 8:54. Next up, town administrator report, sorry.
So, just a
week
reminder,
from
we
Saturday.
have not received a lot of, submissions for the annual report. We have a due date of February 14th. I'm working on mine. Board?
Oh, I guess that's a share now, huh?
Well-
I'll take it out this week, I'll get it out this
Okay.
week.
Um,
I didn't get any notification from anybody about it, so I didn't even think about it, to be honest with you. I should have thought about it, but I didn't.
Yeah, I think in the past, I mean, not that I'm happy to do so, in the past I've assisted, but, it's you, I think
I will,
you're fine.
if everybody's, what I'll do is I'll write it, I'll share it with the board yourself, get feedback, and
That's
everyone's
the
in
gentleman
agreement.
brought.
I think we try to make
That's the
sure
one
that
we,
yours and mine don't
I know.
Collide.
have the same information. But to everyone else, I will be sending out another email to say, because that does have a law attached to it. I was just contacted, today from our vendor for the voter guide. That cost has increased
Of course.
slightly. I think it's warranted. Our voter guide has gotten longer. And he has been very gracious and not changed the cost. So of course, we split that cost with the school district. There's a number of bills, that are up in front of the State House. There's big talk on tax caps right now, which of course does impact us. Everything from what recommendations should be on the warrant to no recommendations on the warrant. They're fighting all this out. And people have very different opinions. So those are all at the municipal and legislative committee, just to let you know. Then the one that is of most interest to us is Senate Bill 601, which is making the state responsible for 7.5% of the local employer contributions. We have, many municipalities have been lobbying the legislature to change this. Because when we all got into the state pension system, all municipalities, when they got in years and years ago, there was a 30% state contribution. So they paid 30% of it. And slowly, every year, it got reduced to where we are now. That's a lot of money for cities and towns. So if the state would pick up that 7.5, that would mean a lot of money that isn't going out of the town of Litchfield. So we'll be watching that. Unfortunately, in the past 4 years, every bill that's gotten to the final place has been defeated, so. We did finally finish the special, 25 year in review edition of the town newsletter. So that was given out on Saturday. It's been sent out, to people that signed up for mass notifications. We did have, about a dozen people sign up for mass notifications at the resource fair. I would strongly urge everyone, if you want information on weather, road closures, whatever it may be, you will not receive any notifications through the old Code Red system. It is gone, it's done, you don't even have access. So you need to sign up for the new system via the town website. We have just placed a box in the lobby, and Donna is there to assist anyone that needs to, be signed up.
Is the town clerk still stuffing, putting the sign up sheet in there in your registration? Anything like that?
I thought they did it in tax.
You didn't text, but I'm wondering if they can, if anything's leaving here, just throw one in there, give them a little update.
I'll ask Terry if
It's
that
just a little,
is.
it's just a little sleeve of paper, just throw it in with the registration and get them to kind of do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't
I have
stress
them
enough, we have no Code Red, so.
Yeah,
A lot of
they're not
people,
getting
I
it.
noticed when they were coming through, I was talking a lot, pushing that, and a lot were
Yeah.
like, I already signed up for that. And I was showing that day, I got an alert this morning. I'm like, did you get this? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, that's the
Yeah,
old system.
Yeah,
With the new system, you'll get the alerts.
Yeah. So I'll ask, Terry.
I know they push it at the window, it would be nice just to slide it in the registrations.
Yeah, unfortunately, if we look at how many people are signing up via the website,
It's low.
it's low, and so I'm really concerned that something might happen in town and we're not gonna be able to get.
The only problem I see is that if someone signed up by a text, which is one of the ways you can sign up, I don't think we see it, that's the challenge.
Is that, okay, so it doesn't,
We don't see, because
you don't have a running tally of how many
we don't even know who's in the database, we can't
Okay.
look at it.
Yeah, we can see numbers, that's about it. But if we, like the ones that signed up, by filling out the paper at the resource fair, what we do is, we entered, cause we've got their signature.
Yep.
We enter them, and then an email goes to those people, and they have to verify via that email that, yes, they signed up. So, and it's
Hopefully
kind
they're-
of a
hopefully they're
two-step.
accepting it, too.
Hopefully they are, yeah. Hopefully they don't forget that they, you know, because everyone gets so much email. The staff all knows, I'm flying out tomorrow morning, back on Tuesday, at the national conference. The staff all knows, I will have access to email and, myself.
Okay.
And then,
Where are you going?
California,
Long Beach, California, I'm
someplace warm.
assigned to the National Education
salt
Committee.
issues?
Yeah.
yeah, no salt issues.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I'll be in meetings morning, noon, and night. That's all I have.
Okay. Let's see, for Selectmen reports, Mr. Leary.
Rec met last night, actually. Big thing for us was getting all the field assignments and buildings and everything assigned to for the spring schedules, which we got it all done. We have designated that the Dara fields are to be used for the little ladies softball, and we're not doing other events there, other sports, because it's too much of a stress on the fields, and they wanna finally get the fences up, so, for the kids, so they can have their tournaments and stuff, and instead of having to put them up and break them down for soccer or lacrosse or this or that or the other, we've moved everybody to Sawmill for those sports, which the fields are designated for over there, so, that was a big thing. They had to replace the light on the back of, Talent Hall. It's about $600 they took from Expendable Trust. So they didn't have enough in the budget to do it. As far as the rec goes, that's about the end of it, but I wanted to bring up that, the resource fair we had last weekend was phenomenal, that everyone was
I would agree.
involved in, and a lot of good feedback on that. It was really, really good. Thanks to everyone for doing that. And I did get a picture of the whole group where we were all standing up there. I'll send it to you if Bobby didn't already.
Yes, I got it.
And they,
Yeah, it was on Facebook. so
they
I saw it.
suggested possibly putting in the town report, you know, the whole thing,
Yeah.
maybe something, and then the other thing is the snowstorm, thanks to our roads crew for everything, I mean, they were under duress, I mean, that was a long storm. And, if you see your neighbors with snow in their driveways, please help them out, especially the older folks. That's all I got.
Yeah, and just on the roads, as the town announced earlier today, there is a nationwide salt shortage, and we're impacted by that, and so we are in somewhat of a mode of conservation. That does not mean our plow drivers are gonna be out there pushing that snow around, getting it back and getting it as best they can. Obviously, the extreme colds don't really allow for a lot of melting to happen, so we're using a lot more salt than we typically do. So, just bear with us, drive safe, we're gonna try to focus on the primary roads and primary arteries kind of thing, and,
Slow down.
yeah, and we'll slow it down, we'll get
Here's a
through
thought.
this. Again, it's not just a Litchfield issue, it's nationwide, that the salt's not coming into the distribution areas that we typically pick it up for, but we do have orders in the system, and we're just waiting for deliveries, so.
When salt doesn't work below that certain temperature, why aren't we just using sand? We have a lot of sand, right?
My understanding is he does put sand down when there's need for traction, but then the plow comes through and pushes it all away. It's just, it's a vicious cycle, right? So, as the roads get chewed up and they freeze, he'll put sand down. If he's getting calls from PD that's a slippery or the fire department, they'll go out and do it, and they'll do it. But at the end of the day, the plow comes back through and pushes the sand right out of the way.
Well, it pushes the salt too, right? Or no?
Well, the salt typically will get buried inside, but the moving around helps it mix it up and melt it. But again, you're right, if it's deep cold and it's already refrozen, it's not gonna go anywhere. It's not gonna-
I personally feel this should be a new approach and reduce budgets by not salting and sanding all the side roads. I live on Nessenkeg and it's covered in snow, but it's drivable. You just drive a little bit slower, as Mr. Larry was saying.
Yeah.
I think it's a great way to save salt, sand, and also help the environment by not dumping as much salt.
What I was surprised
That's
too
true.
is that what I'm seeing is complaints about the roads not being, to certain people's perspectives. Because, by the way, there was some, calls came in, the road wasn't done yet, they hadn't got there yet, they got there and it was done, right? And I got compliments back. But the bike path, I hope everybody realized the bike path is the least of the priority in this town, right? I saw more complaints since it snowed about the bike path still not being cleared. And I get it, there are kids that walk to school and stuff like that in certain areas, and I know they did that part of it, but other parts of the town it's not done yet because he hasn't been able to get there. To your point, they were out all hours, they were spent. So,
And why we don't wanna pay overtime to clear the bike path when they could, like
well, it's contracted, it'll be,
like Kevin said, is he'd rather his guys concentrating on the roads,
Yeah.
then get some rest, and then the next day they'll go out and they'll do the cleanup, including the bike path and opening up the wider sections.
But again, I would still, like I said, I'd encourage any residents to understand that, have patience. If they see a complete problem, let us know.
Yeah.
Cause I suspect that they don't know about it yet, and we'll let them know and they'll get to it, right?
That was 36 hours, though. That was a
That's a
long
long
storm.
storm.
That was a
It was
big
a long
storm.
storm.
Is it an inconvenience or is it a safety issue?
Yeah. So, anyway, thanks. Ms. Plansky?
We had the Heritage Committee meeting and spoke about the metal detector policy as requested. They would like to see, and they're going to respond to, you, Kim, they would like to see a short window as far as like a couple weeks, and that these people appear before the boards that manage the land. And then as far as, punishment, they're talking warnings, and then, what do you say, what is the ramifications? I guess you'd lose your ability to get a permit for a year or something like that. So,
There's a bill that was just
Yeah.
introduced at the State House that is going to impact what we will be able to do.
Was that one you posted in here, 118?
Bad or good?
It was about municipal property.
well, you asked them, that's what they
It-
came up with, so whatever
Yeah.
comes, we'll
It
just
will
feed that information
require-
back to that board. Corey Flint from that board went to rec, to talk about a very cool thing. There's a powwow that's gonna, be part of the 250th celebration. I believe it's gonna be the week after they do like a Dara Pond type of thing. They're working on dates for that as well. But Corey went and got approval from the rec commission to get that powwow. It's gonna be very, very cool, and they wanna do it as an ongoing project. And I think that's it for them. A big thing that happened this last week was that Kim and I did table talk. We did 2 of them, 1 each week. I had intended to do table talk with Dan and with our chief of police and our fire chief this week, and Kevin Brown, our road agent. I'm not sure, I'm thinking it's gonna probably be the beginning of next week if we're able to work that out.
Wish you told me that already.
It just kinda,
Okay.
you know, with the storm and
Yeah.
it didn't get done.
Well,
but-
on that topic, the 2 table talks that ran have been in reruns.
Yeah,
So, your last one just got rerun today at 4:30. So it's on a schedule to get pushed out a few more times.
I hope that it was helpful. What it was designed to do was to answer questions in a little bit longer format. I asked Kim a lot of questions on the financials with the budget, and we talked about the tax cap, and we talked about a lot of things. We really want your input for questions, so that we can make this time worth it, and are able to address questions that you do have. With Dan, we're gonna talk a little bit about with the police chief, we're gonna talk a little bit about what the police department's been doing and what they have coming up, and we're gonna do the same thing with the fire department. And I talked to Kevin Brown, our road agent, he also wants to get involved. So that'll be 3 department heads that you're able to talk to. I think that Terry would probably give us a few minutes for the tax clerk, town clerk's position as well. So that sounds really good, but what else do you want to hear? Kim and I are pretty much able to talk about anything, right, Kim?
To that point, if I may, the town academy, the sign up is
Oh, yeah.
on the website. We have received a couple signups now, so we're really grateful, but
That happened during
if
the,
people want
yeah.
to meet the department heads and hear directly from department heads what happens in the departments, I would really suggest they sign up for the town academy.
and the police academy's coming back too.
Yep.
So the chief is gonna put that up as well, which looks like a really cool program as well. So we're busy up here, we're trying to keep you informed, trying to get as much information out to the public as we can. Next week is the Conservation Commission meeting, I believe it's next Thursday at 6:30. And that's all I have. And I also want to say that I thought the town resource fair was nicely done. I got a lot of new information.
So your videos, you can get them on the town website?
On the town page, yep.
Okay,
They're on
perfect.
the town page, they're on WhatsApp, I don't think they're anywhere else right now.
They're on the YouTube channel too, so.
And they're on the
They're
YouTube table
channel.
too. YouTube.
We'll be adding them, I'll probably add, one of us will do it.
For anyone
We'll add
that's
them on
watching.
the town meeting page, just as a side video clip, so they can see they're there, they can go there too,
Yep,
but they are on all our standard social media platforms.
yep, which it's just a way we're trying to communicate, anything that we can to communicate.
I love you get her midday.
Huh?
You get her midday as she's working. It's real. It's
very
real.
It's very
Yeah.
real, and it's very timely because it's everything that's going on. So,
All right, so Capital Improvement Planning Committee will probably reconvene after March. Right now, it's all quiet. Economic Development Committee, we handed it off to you, the Board of Selectmen, on December 29th to start this committee, which you just did. I went to the Planning Board on January 20th to hand off their work for the zoning piece of what happened, and they'll be rewriting the Economic Development chapter as well. Based on the survey that the town did, the focus group, and then anything that came out of the research. As far as the PFAS committee for the health impacts of the POFA chemicals, the next meeting is February 13th. They meet once a month, and I will give you an update when I get back. Last we knew, it was the water, of course, has the issue, but now it's the sand, and maybe affecting the zoning ordinances on moving soil, just making sure you leave it on your property, don't move it somewhere else, or burn it, or whatever they can do to clean it. As far as NRPC, it was a little more interesting than usual. Because of the $400 million shortfall at DOT, and the project's being canceled, the 10-year TIP plan we had to start voting on either canceling the projects formally or moving them out. So with the $400 million shortfall, it's tough because if you move a project out, the construction cost is still gonna go high, you know, it's almost maybe another potential issue. So because of the shortage, we are an advisory group only. We voted on two things that are going on. New Hampshire toll tax, to put a tax, increase the tax on the New Hampshire tolls. What we're advising, and they, of course, they're gonna do what they want, is it was 16-1 to keep your Easy Pass the way it is now, pay the same toll, but anyone who is not on Easy Pass, double it from $1 to $2. So that's what we're recommending. That will keep the tolls, that toll road going. And that exit 6-7 that's in Manchester, you know, when you go that rotary where you go from 0 to 50, try to work on that. There was one holdout on that, the 16-1 was because the project that was pulled because of funding was Route 101 in Amherst. There's a lot of fatalities on that road. As you know, it's 55 miles, people do 55. It's equivalent to a head-on collision on the highway when somebody crosses that line. So, but that got pulled, and I guess out of protest, there was a vote for that. So that was one way. The other one was the gas tax. So the governor has the right to up the New Hampshire toll. The legislature has the right to change the gas tax. So Ralph Boehm sits on that committee. He's saying that actually they're not going to probably do it. However, the NRPC says we need money. We got to keep these roads going. So it was 9-8. 9 to raise the gas tax, 8 not. So it's not a clear, obviously, support. So that's where we stand there. And I think that's all I have.
Okay. Mr. Gannon?
Planning board, we had our final hearing on the ADUs. We're really at the point, it was a third hearing, so it was either kill it, or if there was enough information, or, kill it if there was enough pushback, or send it forward as written. We did receive some input, but based on what the board believed, it was not enough to kill it and move. Instead, we moved it forward to the warrant article. So it'll be 1,200 square foot for units. As Kim mentioned, she presented the economic development report to us, and our focus now is on the master plan chapters.
I did ask Mike if he would do a table talk with those zoning. I haven't heard back from him, but there's a lot of people, when they get to those zoning warrant articles, they're just not understanding what they're doing. They don't cost anything, people just let them put them through.
Well, they will be there discussing them, right? Yeah.
At deliberative.
At deliberative.
We did put the full, text, the full explanation on the 2026 town meeting page. People wanna read it.
I'm hoping Mike comes and does the table talk though.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, for myself, let's see, FIC, the school facility, they met last week. Obviously, the new school, or the project for the new school, or rehabbing the school, has been postponed, pushed to the 2027. They're waiting for their engineering and contractors to come up with some more finite details around the construction, and then what the cost will really look like before they present it to the voters again. So they're busy working on it, there's more stuff going on, they're starting to meet monthly again, so that's happening. There's been no budget committee, obviously, because we just finished that task up. What's coming up for the next 2 very critical meetings will be the school board deliberative session, which is going to be the 31st at 10 o'clock at CHS Auditorium. That's one of your opportunities to hear what the school's doing, what the school warrants look like, and their budget, and come in and talk about it. And then obviously the town one is February 7th at 10 o'clock, CHS Auditorium, for the town side of the business, which is our warrants. And that's all I have, and I guess I'll just echo on. I thought the resource fair was fantastic. I think that looking at timing, maybe move around and get better, but I was very happy with the crowds that came in, the people who were engaged, the organization that came in support.
And it was cold.
And it was very cold, and I think, hats off to the veterans, hats off to Ms. Kleiner for all the work they put into getting that thing together.
There was just great groups.
I think it was a fantastic program, and I hope there is a second annual, and you know.
Maybe do it in the spring, so that the.
I was thinking
seniors
November,
will
I was
get-
thinking I was thinking November, September,
Yeah,
November
something
timeframe.
without frigid temperatures would probably help.
So that's all I have, and we do have a short non-public to go into before we close. So I would like to make a motion that we go into, non-public under RSA 91A:3, Roman number 2, Section B, the hiring of any person as a public employee. And we'll only be coming out of that during the meeting, so, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Gannon. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 5-0-0. So we'll be going into non-public at 9:19 PM. As I said earlier, we'll only be coming out to adjourn our public meeting. Again, don't forget, school deliberative, 31st, 10 o'clock, CHS. Town deliberative on the 7th, 10 o'clock at CHS. Stay warm and have a good night.